we've been great on the table. Like, we haven't missed an attempted direct shot. Missed maybe one combination, one bank. Our breaks are going well, and we're keeping ourselves composed and calm and carrying on.
We have to change our game to the higher level, because our next match, it's going to be a tough match between Finland, and they played brilliant.
It doesn't matter who sits on the other side of the bench. Just keep your own game, break good, and run the balls.
What we're gonna do, just focus the game and give them the best.
We know that they've been playing a little shaky until this point, but they can switch gears at any point again. And I don't know, in my opinion, I'd rather play them now than in the final.
The team Finland, they won the World Cup of Pool also 2 years ago. Our next match is going to be a tough match.
Well, I think we're trying to just take one ball at a time, one game at a time, and just get it done, get the work done, and not to look far ahead.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for your second quarterfinal, it's the Battle of Champions. Let's welcome your first team in this quarterfinal, the 2012 World Cup of Pool champions. Here is Team Finland. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning and defending World Cup of Pool champions, here is Team Philippines!
Well, you heard the defending champions just pre-match here. They know they've got to find another gear. This is not Chile, who they faced in the first round. This is not France, who they faced in the second round. This is Finland, and Finland have won this event before.
So this is the last two champions of this event. 2012, it was Finland. 2013, it was the Philippines. And both these teams are the exact same teams, exact same players that won the championship.
And Finland will initiate proceedings here. The first break to Mika Immonen, Petri Mäkinen.
A race to 9 racks. First rack, Finland to break.
And he, with the big break, steps up to the plate.
What a partner he's been for the last few years of Mika Immonen. Obviously, Mika Immonen, a resume much longer than Petri Mäkinen. Mika Immonen recently elected into the Billiard Hall of Fame.
Please.
But this is not singles pool, Jim. This is Scotch doubles pool, and it's not about great singles player. It's about great teamwork. These guys have been awesome as a pair.
They exemplify that. And that 8 ball just getting to the head string. The 5 had already crossed, and 2 balls down, or 1 ball down, sorry. So he needed that 8 to make it to the head string. Quick reminder of the rules for the break. 3 balls have to pass the head string. Every ball pocketed counts as a ball having passed the head string. So this was just a legal break.
And it's just what Team Finland wanted. They have yet to lose a rack in this competition. Both their matches 7-0. They have played breathtaking Scotch doubles. But this is a little bit different. It's race to 9. And their opponents are the great Filipinos.
Well, it would be silly to think that they could go through this match against the top seeded pair from the Philippines unscathed. on paper, they have to be considered underdogs here, as well as they're playing. But it's the old cliche, Ted, the game's not played on paper, is it?
It's a very thin sheet of paper, Jim. I don't think they're underdogs. Based upon how they've been playing, I think they're slight favorites. Yeah, it's hard to imagine to say that sentence. Finland favored over the Philippines. I mean, the Philippines is the legendary country of pool, producing just legions of amazing players.
Ted, people are going to start thinking you're drinking your own bathwater with statements like that. Perfect position. And I think what you said at the start of this match really hit the nail right on the head. I mean, these two exemplify teamwork. The captain Immonen, his lieutenant Petri. They know what's expected of each other. They just go out and deliver time and time again. It's all business for Team Finland.
Break and run. They pick up where they left off. And now it'll be Mika Immonen to break. Mika's won just about everything there is to win in pool. He won 2 straight U.S. Opens. He won the World 9-ball, World 10-ball. He's been a mainstay on the Mosconi Cup team. And there you see their record in the World Cup of Pool. When they partnered together, the first time they went out in round 1, but the next year in 2012, winners.
Yeah, formidable record. Always a tough team, no matter where and when the event's played.
Well, this is going to be an illegal break because
Illegal break, control passes.
2 balls went past that white head string there, but nothing down. So now it's our first look at Team Philippines.
Dennis and Levan, we know they were on the practice table.
It's not easy, Jim, getting from this 1 ball to all the way down to the 2.
No, and a lot of traffic to negotiate as well, Ted. And he's looking at trying to spin this, but it's almost one of those shots that you'd like to set yourself up, even if you can play a good aggressive safety on the 2. That might be what Levan's going to contend himself with. Yeah, that's all he was trying to do, just get out to the open to leave Dennis the edge of the 2 so he can flick off it and run down table. And he's got it. So he'll just try and flick this edge here. Thin cut. Oh, caught it too thick. Tried to keep that 2 behind cover, but he's got a goalie in the form of the 7-ball. Still, you know, early signs. The Philippines still have those cobwebs in their game.
This is when you'll see them discussing strategy, but when the balls are out in the open, they don't say a word to each other.
Extension.
The number 8 seeded team, Finland. We've already seen the number 3 seeds summarily dismissed by Austria. One can only wonder, as strange as it sounds, you think with the longer races, the upsets are going to be fewer. There were none in the last round. That races to 7. We've already had 1. Like you, Ted, I don't think it would be a big shock, and good containing effort, that one from Petr Mäkinen there.
Well, I didn't think that the Austria was an upset, even though I had picked China based on the fact that they played so well against England in the second round. But because we had early in the tournament I saw China and Austria both as dark horses. New younger generation out of China. I think everybody, Jim, and every team in our quarterfinal capable of winning. So hard to say anything would be an upset at this point. This is Immonen with the safety.
Well, just the edge of the two poking out. So again, Dennis is going to be called on for a very thin clip here. And this is almost table length. They call him RoboCop. He's going to have to play like a machine today.
Extension.
Boy, all those balls are shoved down by the rail. There's not many places to hide here. Oh, he pocketed
the billiard
seven.
onto the 7. Creative from Dennis Orculio there.
Nice aggressive play from Orculio. And they get lucky. A shot on the 2.
Yeah, that was the aspect of that shot that was really left up in the air, was positioned to the 2, and it's worked out pretty nicely. The 4 does offer a combination to the 6 at the bottom of the table, and Dennis has got lots of angle on this 3 to get down for the 4. He can also play down the right-hand side, play the 4 into the bottom left. Now he's going to look at the combination now. Straight on this would be nice. So Levan's going to have to play this very slowly, try and keep that 4 over the corner pocket. Give his partner a nice setup from 4 to 5. Well, see, I didn't think he'd play it at that speed even. And cue ball just slithering past the 4 to leave it on for Dennis, but that was risky.
That'll work out. So will we be seeing Finland giving up their first rack in this World Cup of pool?
That was a nice stroke from Levan Corteza.
There is something to be said about going through the gauntlet early on in the tournament. You could say that the team becomes battle hardened, whereas Finland has not even been touched
Till now. 1-1. It took 3 matches before Finland dropped a rack. But a great shot. Really set the table there. A billiard from Dennis Orculio. And there you see these teams' routes to these quarterfinals. Philippines, nail-biting wins over both Chile and France, whereas Finland, they just put it in cruise control over Korea and Poland.
It's a whole new day, however. That's all in the past. And longer races. This is a race to 9, winner breaks. And it'll be Dennis
Rack 3.
Orculio.
Philippines to break 1 rack each.
Dennis is really going to have to power this break.
So this cut break sends the yellow one towards the side pocket. And then they try to keep the cue ball as close to the center as possible. Bring it off the side rail.
No, he's punched it full ball, got the 3 in the corner. This is a perfect break for the Philippines. 2s over the side pocket, 1 nicely lined up.
Interesting. That was a different break than we've seen.
Yeah.
Most of the players have been employing that cut break and going for the 1 in the side. Look at this. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think Dennis and Levan have been trying this out on the practice table, Ted. I was watching them, and they weren't cut breaking up there at all. But then again, you know, there's no break rule up there. And you just wonder what Levan Cortez will do when it comes his turn to break, whether he'll follow suit.
Well, the players have been doing that cut break because it's, I mean, 80% that 1 ball goes in the side pocket. So, you know, you want that guarantee that you can at least keep shooting should you get a legal break. But interesting. Let's pay attention to that. That's a new development, new tactic there. Don't worry about the 1 ball.
We'll just spin this back over the right-hand side of the table where he was holding his cue. That'll leave the 6. Well, he used all the pocket there. Got a little closer to that 6 even.
Looking good so far.
Well, it was a terrific break from Dennis Orculio. That was the key shot in the 3rd rack, and it goes the way of the Philippines. 2-1. They enjoy a small lead over Team Finland. Join us for more World Cup action following the short break. They've seen a rack, even 2, go the way of the other side.
So a good talking point here. The break shot that the Filipinos are employing here. This is a little bit different, more of a punch shot.
Well, he tried. He almost made the 9 in the side pocket. It caught the near point.
And the 2-0.
Very close to going in, the 2 over the corner. Watch the 9 here, Ted. Gets kicked. Right here, look at the 9 tracking to the side.
Wow.
Just misses.
Wonder if Finland's paying attention to that. So that's a dry break. You know, that 2 ball goes down. They are shooting. So they seem to have figured something out with the break shot, the Filipinos. Oh, that's not going to go. So Mika misses on the reverse cut on the 1. And a big opening now for Team Philippines. Everything out in the open except that 9 ball.
key shot right here. Position to the 3. When a ball's right in the jaws of a pocket like this, position is never easy. That's not bad, just a little off angle, but he's got enough to be able to get the cue ball off the top cushion and get it back down for the 4. 4 is available bottom right.
Well, they certainly seem more focused today, Dennis and Levan.
They knew they had to be, Ted. Finland posed a lot more of a threat to their title than did either Chile or France. And especially the way that Finland had been playing.
Finland was well aware that this would be a lot more difficult than their first 2 matches. But now we're going to get a chance to see how Finland does playing from behind. They've been ahead every second of every match so far in this World Cup of pool. And it won't be behind to just any team, Jim. This is the defending champions.
So he's going to have to thump this. Dennis wants him to push it off the 2 cushions. Good shot from Levan Corteza there.
Does the 9 on the rail pose any issues? It looks like it's frozen.
Yeah, but it's far enough away from the side pocket where it doesn't. They can drop onto it, ideally, to the top left as we look. Just really depends on the angle that Dennis leaves his partner.
Let's give a little lesson in pool here. A lot of amateurs have trouble with balls frozen on the rail. How do you hit a ball frozen on the rail?
Well, a funny thing is, in snooker, you'd play what you call inside side spin to get the ball, the object ball, to hug the rail. In pool, it's the opposite. You play outside side spin. Now he's got enough angle here, I think, to push this through top spin and right hand English as he looks into that cue ball off the 2 cushions. Play the 9 top left. And I think that's what they're going to do. It's a little less risky than trying to cheat the pocket and draw below it, I think.
Oh, they knocked it out.
Well, he must have been dead straight. And again, the Filipinos, they really do think shots through. They see every aspect that presents itself on a pool table. And one thing about them is they always get the percentages working in their favor. And that's a 3-1 lead now over Finland.
Mika missed the 1 ball, and that led to the rack for the Philippines. And there you see the draw. Austria already through to the semifinals. They play the winner of Germany-Holland. That's coming up on our first match in the evening session. The winner of this match to take on the winner of USA versus England, which is our nightcap this evening. Semifinals and finals will be played tomorrow, all in one day. The final will be a race to 10.
Rack 5, the Philippines to break, leading by 3 racks to 1.
So let's watch this break shot. He moves the ball outside, a little bit away from the rail, which is different than most other teams have been doing.
Yeah, the break that he employs here, Ted, is really the type of break that if the 1 was on the head spot. Here at the World Cup this year, they've been putting the 9 ball on the head spot. And that's why they've been adopting the cut break, trying to get the 1 in the middle. But Dennis's his last break, well, he cut that one and pulled it over to the side cushion and came up empty. Now that's very strange for me. He had such a good break in his last one that he flushed the 1.
Wonder why he would change after having such a successful break last time.
For 10 years, Petra Mäkinen has played European Tour events. He's never won one, and yet he can boast a World Cup title with partner Mika Immonen.
Well, he says he is just super comfortable playing with Mika. And it must be something to be able to play partners with a guy like Mika. I mean, a true legend in the game, going to be enshrined in the Hall of Fame next month in Virginia. So now the combination. No, safety. But this will be left on.
Saving grace as far as the Philippines are concerned is it's a little awkward. He's got a cue over the 2 and it looks pretty straight. So this is far from straightforward.
And position is needed for that blue 2.
Petra here has lots of angle on the 2. He's just got to make sure that he avoids contacting that 6. That's the one just to the left of the 2 that he's going to be targeting. He's got to try and avoid contacting it. Oh, what a great shot. Stayed nice and still and just smoothed that one right into the corner pocket.
Yeah, he's got a nice touch.
Look how still he stayed on that shot, Ted. That's almost always a formula for success in any cue sport discipline.
Throughout the times they played in the World Cup of Pool, it's clear that playing with Mika is a calming influence on Petri.
Usually when players start to get a little nervous and edgy, that movement creeps into their action.
You do get the feeling, Jim, that we're witnessing what will be a very high quality match. And there's going to be plenty of twists and turns on the way to that final 9 ball.
Sure.
As you would expect, the last 2 champions of the World Cup of Pool going head to head in this quarterfinal.
And we've said it a couple times already. No team has ever successfully defended this title. Even though the Philippines have won it 3 times, Efren Reyes and Francisco Bustamante have gone to the well twice and come up with the pot of gold.
Oh, just barely. But good enough. Some good shot making here for Finland.
Best pool match I've ever witnessed in my life was courtesy of Mika Immonen. He beat Jason Klatt, a very good Canadian player, in a match at the US Open. Jason, the only thing he did wrong in the whole match was break dry once.
In the last rack. No? So that 9 ball brings Finland back to within 1. A very good rack after the Philippines with some good efforts of their own. Very high quality so far, as you would expect. And now it'll be Finland to break in rack number 6.
Yeah, sorry, Ted. Just to, quickly finish what I was saying about the U.S. Open. And yeah, the U.S. Open is it's an open event that a lot of these top players travel to. It's, you know, anyone can play. You just pay your entry fee, and it's one of the more prestigious events in the world. And it's a multi-table format. They set up 16 tables with one TV arena, and it's double knockout. All races to 11, so
Finland to break, trailing by 3 racks.
high quality. And Shane Van Boening is the 2-time U.S. Open champion and defending champion. He'll be headed over there as soon as this event concludes, as will a number of these superstars that have made their way to Portsmouth.
Two balls down. The 1 goes down, and they have a shot on the 3.
Yeah, just slightly.
What does he tear into that? Look at he puts that old girth into that break shot.
You know, both Petra Mäkinen and John Mora, for me, the young Canadian, have had the best breaks here. You rarely see them fail on the break. Now, if Mika gets this could be the end of the rack. Oh, that's so unlucky. That is so unlucky. He can't believe it. Imagine the cue ball catching that side pocket from that angle. Mika, you cannot afford breaks like that going against you.
That is a very, very unfortunate event for Mika. That's a big turnaround here. They had the table. He knows it. This match should be tied about now. They're going to be down by 2 very shortly. Keep a note of that one in rack number 6. Off a very good break, Mika Immonen scratches. Mika doesn't take that stuff too well. He wears his emotions on his sleeve sometimes, especially when they're negative emotions.
Well, and in this game, and given the format here, Ted, a break like that can cost you numerous racks. Really put your team under pressure, and no fault whatsoever of Mika. He hit a good shot.
Yeah, and the Philippines is playing much better today than they had in the first 2 games, so we might see the Filipinos put the Finns in their chair.
Center of the pocket. And the Philippines once again reestablish that 2-rack cushion. 4-2 in front of the 8th-seeded Finnish side. You can see the 1 and then the 2 up near the corner. He's not going to be able to get too close to that 2. He just wants to leave Van something open. Give him a look at it. Boy, that's a great shot. And he's unlucky. That was a great effort from Dennis. He drew that back, avoided the 4-ball. Just touching the 6 enough to push that cue ball behind the 7. An amazing game, isn't it? It can be one of the cruelest sports in the world.
That's why we love it, Jim.
We're into pain and torture of other people. Yeah, he's going to jump this. No choice, really. And he should expect to get this. And I fully expect him to.
We have to look at position.
That was the big issue. Dennis is hoping he can see enough to make it. And I think he can. Into the top corner pocket. The cue ball will come off the side cushion. Now he's just got to make sure that he leaves an open shot at the 4. That 8 ball's a danger ball here. Boy, this is a tough shot. No, I never threatened the pocket. Never threatened the top corner there.
He had to play offense, and not a good result. So Finland with a golden chance here to take their first lead in 30 minutes since the opening rack, which they won.
I think in terms of the form book, Ted, if Finland gets through this rack, and let's just say that they take out the top seeded Philippine pair, then you'd be looking at the 8 seed and 11 seed making up the top half of the semifinal. I think it's fair to say that would be against the form book.
Yeah, but those who know the game up close and realize that Finland could have been a 2nd seed. Really, they've won this event just 2 years ago. These same 2 players, Mika Immonen, Hall of Famer now, and Austria. I still maintain that was not a shock upset. What might have been shocking was how they pounded China. I mean, they won big in that match, so that was a bit of a shock. We thought that would be more of a tight affair. So this now Finland for their first lead since the opening rack, where they led 1-0, 5-4. That's 3 in a row for Team Finland, and the action continues here in this quarterfinal after the break. Philippines was rolling, but they've hit some turbulence here. Lee Van Corteza missed that 8 ball in rack number 8. That tied the score at 4-4. Finland was able to get one back, and then here, Dennis Orkula with a shot on the 3, but he missed that. And Finland cleared the colors, and they now lead 5-4.
Ted, things have really turned on the Philippines here. The one miss you would have fully expected him to get. The second one was a tough ask.
What a break this is. Now, do they have a shot on the 3? It's 1 and 2 is down. Definitely legal. Doesn't appear that they do. This is a pivotal rack here. If the Philippines can't get out here, you might think that they might start to think that the troubles are just going to keep piling up and piling up, similar to the first 2 matches they played. They really need to get this rack for, if anything, just for confidence.
He's pushing into a jump here. So Petri would end up taking the shot again. So he's pushed, well, he's trying to get it to the diamond. He never got there. He's short. He's left him a wide open shot on the 3. He was trying to get the cue ball to the rail and leave a jump shot. Well, that's a huge mistake.
Yeah, but they need this, Jim.
Extension.
Looks like the natural angle will bring the cue ball out for the 4 here.
solid. That's the kind of shot that'll bring you back.
Only perfect.
Make you forget about those mistakes of the previous racks.
Well, that's the second push-out mistake we've seen. One courtesy of the Philippines, this one courtesy of Finland.
Now, if he had gotten into the jump position, do you think the Philippines would have handed it back?
Absolutely. But they wanted to shoot it. It's one of those instances where you're really gambling. You've got the reply, and it's a little too high risk for your opponents to take it. And it's always tricky pushing when balls are in your pockets, as was the case there with the 3. But I mean, to leave him a wide open shot with natural angle to drop on the 4, inexcusable. Not ideal.
Yeah, could have been easier.
Good shot from Dennis. 5-5. Hand in hand, these two great teams. Winners of the last 2 World Cups are working their way to the business end of this match. And there you can see the arena and the setting for this year's World Cup of Pool.
Both these players, Dennis and Lee Van, from the southern Philippines. Lee Van from Davao City, and Dennis from Surigao del Sur, a much more rural place. Davao is one of the main cities in Mindanao.
Ted, everyone at home may not know, with your American accent, you've resided in the Philippines for how long?
20 years.
He's a resident, and he knows these players very well. Rack number 11. And right now, again, I think you have to like the favorites. It's a very thin cut on the 2. The 1 deposited off the break. An illegal break. But it's a thin cut on this 2.
One thing we haven't seen the Philippines do in this tournament is put their opponent in the chair for any extended period of time. Could that time be now? He's practically climbing on the table now.
Yeah, Dennis isn't too tall.
He has to keep 1 foot on the floor. That's the rule.
They're not making this too easy. That should get things back. Well, again, a little short of where he would ideally like to be. And anytime you've got to spin that cue ball, you've got to allow for the deflection off the cue tip. And all the amateur players watching at home, that's a lot of times when you miss those easy shots, you've misjudged that deflection. And that varies depending on how far you deviate off that center line of the cue ball and the speed with which you play the shot. these guys, it's like second nature.
Well, they're in the groove now, aren't they? Some good cueing from Team Philippines. They get 2 back. After dropping 3 straight, they now lead 6-5 in this race to 9. Still a ways to go.
But they've got to be feeling a lot better after having won the last 2 racks. There's your quarterfinal draw. A quick reminder of where everything sits. Austria sitting back and waiting the winner of the Germany-Holland match.
Philippines to break, leading by 6 racks to 5.
And the winner of the Philippines-Finland will play the winner of USA-England tonight.
Lee Van Corteza to break. 1 ball on the side.
Illegal break, control passes.
That is heartbreak. This illegal break is just wreaking havoc on both teams today. I mean, he's got a shot on the 2, Jim, but he's not allowed to shoot because it's an illegal break.
Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough shot, even for a up-and-coming Hall of Famer. But the way that Dennis got up and looked at this, I think Immonen has left it as well. So doubly bad. Well, that's the 3rd look he's taken at this too.
Extension.
It's got the upper half of the pocket, no more.
7 and 9 are also tied up. Does the 7 pass? It looks like it does.
Well, even if it doesn't though, Ted, it's available to the side.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, it's available to the side.
And where the 6 is positioned, should be pretty easy to drop onto that 7 to the side pocket. There you see it, wide open to the side. Definitely doesn't go into this corner. Not a good shot. He's got him near the cushion. He wanted to be a little above the 5 to allow Lee Van like to have been able to get pretty straight on that 6. Now he may have to play this in a manner where he's going to take the cue ball into the 9 and 7. He's just going to have to roll this in. And I don't know whether Dennis can roll this slow enough for position to the side. If not, he's got to try and take the cue ball into the 9 and 7. No choice. Got to develop him. Beautiful play.
Terrific shot.
I'm surprised they didn't take a little more time on the 5 just to work out exactly where they wanted to position the cue ball to leave that billiard onto the 9 and the 7. But that couldn't have been played any better.
Not only a confidence booster, that could be a game changer right there. So they recover from the illegal break after Mika misses the 2. They really are shooting much better today than in both matches combined. That was just Bit of a mess for the Philippines, and they managed to pull through those first 2 matches. They look much sharper today.
And 7-5. Once again, 2 racks clear. They had a 4-2 lead. And Finland in their chairs looking on. It was the missed 2 from Immonen. But that was a pretty handsome clear up from Dennis and Levan. One team looking pretty comfortable, the other a bit restless. Here's the miss on the 2 from Mika.
And that led to the Philippines doing a nice job of running out, clearing the table, and now they lead 7-5. Mika can just watch the proceedings at this point. What a huge rack right here. Philippines with a chance to move within 1.
Philippines to break, leading by 7 racks to 5.
Now Dennis moves to this side of the table. He's trying for something different. They've, after that original really good break shot early in the match, they haven't had much success. It's been a lot of illegal breaks. So try something different. The 1 is down.
This will be an illegal break.
It's just...
Illegal break, control passes.
And position to the 2. Yeah, it's been quite a mystery that very few teams have been able to solve.
And look at this, a shot on the 2. It's a bit of a challenge, this table. He's looking at the 5 ball. The 5 looks like it goes into the side. Well, normally you don't see these guys discussing things, but they're down 2 racks, and this is absolutely essential here. They really need this. 1 ball at a time. They allow the Philippines to get this. The Philippines will be 1 win away from the spot in the semifinals, and they'll be breaking for that spot. So everything riding on this match right here for Team Finland.
We've seen a couple bumps in the road from Mika Immonen. I mean, the 1, there's no way he could have legislated for that scratch into the side pocket, but a couple misses.
Slow down.
Yeah, I don't know how you get position from the 5 to the 6 here. I think I'll just I'll sit back and watch what Mika does, because I have no idea how he's going to get from the 5 to the 6.
He's not sure either. That gesture right there, scratching his head.
I don't think the bank is available because you can't get the cue ball out of the way. I mean, he'd love to be able to attack the bank. I wonder if he can straighten it up enough with left-hand spin as he looks. Get the cue ball out of the way. No, I guess not. He's just going to try and take it. Yeah, that's all he could do. Oh, he'd love that 8 to have. Well, it's given him a bigger pocket. You know, he couldn't have put it in a better place, really, Ted.
Can use that 8 as a guide to help knock in the 6.
A big, deep breath from Petra Mäkinen there. Big shot. He's got it.
Oh,
Didn't
what
need the
a
8.
terrific shot.
That is a real confidence boosting effort, that one.
Mika loves this, loves him as a partner. What a clutch effort right there. That was dead in the pocket, Jim. Considering the pressure, so impressive.
Just over to the right-hand side. Not too close. Don't want to flirt with that side pocket at all. Well, a little closer than that, though. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
They got it. Wow, every shot, everything riding on it. And Finland moves to within 1. The action continues after the break.
So Finland with the break. Rack number 14, 7-6. They trail by the odd rack in the race to 9. A place in the semifinals up for grabs to the winning team.
This is a great break shot. Just in time for Team Finland. 3 balls down and a shot on the 2.
He really, apart from that one dry break, his break has been fantastic.
He has been a rock for Team Finland.
Oh, terrific effort from Mika there. Look at
Of course, Team Finland got that break in the last rack after the illegal break from Team Philippines. Just in the nick of time, they held their nerve to get back to 1 down. This rack to tie. Race to 9. Winner breaks. The winner moves on to the semifinals tomorrow.
Goes by the nickname of Tattoo, does Makinen. And without doubt, the jewel in the crown as far as his bio is concerned is in 2012 when he partnered Mika to the World Cup title.
They actually beat the Philippines. Efren Reyes and Francisco Bustamante in front of a packed house in Manila in a prime time match in the semifinals. And they went on to beat Poland in the final.
Well, just move a little closer to the edge of your chair there, Ted, because this one is going to go all the way. 7-7, Finland versus the Philippines. And Finland with the break in rack number 15.
Mika's not been breaking as good as Petri. I bet he would love to send up Petri every time.
Still, a lot of intensity. Mika knows this is far from over. They've got to stay focused, keep that concentration at a high level.
Petri's standing up. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I thought maybe they were confused about who was going to break. It's Mika's break.
Yeah, players have to alternate breaks as well as shots. Scotch doubles, that's the format. Single elimination, so a lot of pressure
Rack
Everything
15.
under the magnifying
Finland to
glass here
break.
in
7
Portsmouth
racks.
this year.
He's got the 2-ball down. Oh, and well, that is a legal break finally from Mika. He solved that problem.
Yeah, if that one doesn't get kicked away from the corner here, he's perfect. Watch this. Right there, the 8-ball coming to the 8 of the Philippines. But there may be a bank on offer here. And it comes with position to the 3.
He's been clutch all match.
Missed it. But
He got second prize, Jim.
the second place ribbon for Finland. Yeah, he missed that bank shot by a long ways, and I think the look on his face. But that would have come with position to the 3. And now they've got a kick. Well, he's going for his jump cue. Now, he's got a long ways to jump over that 7 here. This is a situation, Ted, where he's got to judge this, where he's got to land on the 1.
Well, the results are certainly up in the air here. Where will everything end up? It's a quick up and down.
Foul shot.
Didn't like it.
Fallen.
There was a lot of distance between the cue ball and the 7.
What was your alternative, though, Jim?
You had
I mean,
to kick. You would have had to go to the side cushion with a bit of side spin into the cue ball. That was a very, very tough jump shot. And again, he would have had to land on the 1. Otherwise, you might well have bounced over it, too.
Interesting that a Philippine player turns down a kick shot in favor of a precarious jump shot.
Yeah, the only reason is they just felt that the kick, the chances of getting it safe, he knew he was going to hit it, but the chances of getting it safe, he had a better option going with the jump. But that might be a decision that Team Philippines live to regret.
So the foul on the jump, and yeah, that was a quick up and down for a jump shot. There was a very small landing area. You had to be super precise.
Yeah, it was a long distance jump and a very narrow landing strip there.
And now Finland, they were down 7-5. They've tied it up at 7, a chance to move back into the lead. They last led at 5-4. And then the Philippines went on a roll. This has been a real back and forth match, as we predicted it would be.
But you know, Finland are tenacious, and they've stayed right on the tails of the Philippines, even when it looked like they could, you know, put a little distance between themselves and Finland. Finland hung tough, and that's really what's come to the fore here for me, Ted. They just hung with them, waited for their chances, and now they're coming good.
Well, in this part of the match, the chance came in rack 13 when the Philippines was up 7-5. Whoa.
If that 7 goes, that'll work.
Philippines was up 7-5, breaking, and it was an illegal break, and that allowed Finland back at the table, and now they are set to go up by 1 and 1 away from a spot in the semifinals.
The hill has arrived. 8-7 over the Philippines. Terrific effort.
Well, they've still got a chance, of course. We know this game. can never pencil in the victor until that final 9 drops. But Dennis obviously very disappointed. It was this shot right here. Look at the distance he has to go, and look at the short distance between the 7 and the 1. So that was really, really difficult.
Yeah, even the speed that he played that, you know, you just wonder where he could have gone, where he got safe with the 1 ball. But a very comfortable clearance, and they've got the right guy at the table breaking for the last time for Finland. The Philippines just need 1 chance.
Boy, he's got his considerable girth about to go slam into this rack, and he has done this time and again. This is the guy you'd want on the hill breaking for the match.
Legal break and a shot at the 2, and everything's in the open.
Mika jumps out of his chair.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yes, it was okay. Reset the clock, please.
Oh,
Well,
It came down and went
Dennis
back.
Orculio stood up out of his chair.
You've got 60. Would you address the table?
I think he thought perhaps it was an illegal break, and Mika took offense at it, thinking that he was being sharked. So Mika's got to calm down. Got to get back in focus.
well, he's got to put it out of his mind. I think Dennis was just trying to have a look to see where the balls were sitting. And I think in his mind he was going over how they were displaced after the break, just to, you know, clear in his mind that it was legal, because only 1 ball went down.
Well, Mika reacted as if he felt like he was being sharked, which would mean like a purposely disturbed by his opponent.
Well, I know one thing, he did center him out, didn't he?
Mika's intense.
You can say that again. He's a competitor. They all are. That's a good shot from Petra. Well, he's just gone a little further than he would have liked, but this really shouldn't pose any problems other than the pressure of the moment. You gotta just lasso those emotions and let that back arm do what it's done for the last 15 racks. Good shot.
Well, he's just been playing great. Mika has to feel so good about having him by his side. And you know what, Jim? After those 2 7-0 wins for Finland, they've really come through in a difficult match. This is going to be a massive confidence boost for this team. They won this event two years ago, and I think they know the sky is the limit from here on in.
And depositing the 9 and earning a berth into the semifinals. Team Finland, the 2012 winners. They will await Team USA and England to see who their semifinal opponent will be. A 9-7 crunching victory over the top-seeded Philippines.
Finland It wasn't like their first two matches. They really had a tough one against the Philippines, the defending champion, but they came through in the end when it counted. They move into the semifinals. Jim Weich is with the winners.
Well, nobody has successfully defended this title, and Team Finland has just made sure that's not going to happen this year either. Mika, Petra, terrific match.
It was definitely a nail biter. We were hanging there by the skin of our teeth. We somehow got over the finish line in the end.
Petra, it just seems like you always bring your A game when the World Cup comes around.
Yeah, I mean, it's good atmosphere and good tables and good partner. It's easy to play.
Mika, I've got to ask you, you felt a little disturbed at the start of that last rack, but you pulled yourself back, held your emotions, and helped your partner clear up.
Yeah, obviously we had a good shot on the two, and I was already preparing to shoot, and then Dennis got off his chair, and he should have never done that because, you know, he would have addressed, if he was correct, he would have addressed the referee right away after the break, but he took his merry time, and then he decided to consult the referee when I was shooting. So we got an extra shot clock, and then I just came through. I had to bear down and then just do it, and then I played the perfect position, and then Petra played. We just played perfect position.
I'll tell you, every time Petra breaks, he's got as good a break in this event, given how difficult this table is breaking, as anybody in the tournament.
He's breaking the best I've seen of anybody in the tournament, you know, including myself, which is unusual for me to say. But I kind of figured out towards the end, and now I think we're both breaking well. So, you know, it's a good sign for the future now.
And now, Petra, it's going to be either USA or England. Any preference?
I don't really care. I mean, if we play our own game, it doesn't matter.
You just keep breaking like that, you'll be fine, won't you?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's right, baby. Let's keep going.
That's right, baby. Congratulations.